Good evening, everyone. This is Leanne from Of Love and Shiplap and the founder of Sublimation Graphics and Tutorials here on Facebook. If you're joining us on YouTube, be sure to come join our Facebook group. The link is in the video description. And of course, if you're catching us live, be sure to go subscribe to our YouTube channel to find all of our videos, past, present, and future, and to find out when we upload anything new. So tonight I want to, Jasper says hello, in case you guys haven't seen his handsome face in a while. As you can see, he's a ham and he's always happy to be included in these videos. So tonight I'm going to be showing you guys how to do waffle towels. So waffle towels are pretty straightforward, easy seller. One of my favorite items to sell. If you've been on my website, www.ofloveandshiplap.us, you know that I have over 100 different designs that you can use on waffle towels. One of the reasons why I focus on them is because they are perfect for selling all year round, but they're especially perfect during different holidays. People love to decorate their home for every holiday that exists today, which means it's a great opportunity to capitalize on that market. You'll notice that most of my designs come in trios and that I do recommend you sell them in sets of 3 or sets of 2 because this helps just maximize your profit for the time that you're putting into sublimating your item. Now, waffle towels, the ones that we typically recommend for like a kitchen towel purpose that hangs on your oven or your cabinet is going to be 16 inches by 24 inches. There are a number of different sellers which you can buy them from. I've included the links to my 3 favorite ones in our video description. That includes maximart.com and worldwidejanitor.com, both of which have bulk prices for cases. And then if you're looking for smaller quantities, you can always pay a little bit more and get the Sinland brand on Amazon. Now, I have tried all 3 of these towels. They're pretty much all the same. The differences are very minor. They are minor enough that you wouldn't really be able to use like 2 Sinland and 1 Maximart because some of the differences are just like in how the hem is sewn, whether the corner is rounded or square, things like that. So just something to keep in mind as you're ordering them for your business. So today I have 2 towels that we're gonna do, and I'm just gonna use 2 designs that were part of our Celebrate 15K bundle. If you didn't grab that bundle, it is 100 new designs from my shop for $35. There's also the throwback to the states, the Christmas pattern states from last year, and my 7 favorite kids Christmas designs from 2018. And those 2 throwback bonuses are over $600 in value. So you get almost $1,000 worth of designs for 35 bucks. Kind of hard to beat that in my opinion. So there's a lot of great holiday designs. And then, you know, there's some that are not holiday as well, because I did try and have a little bit of diversity, but these 2 I thought would be perfect for some kitchen towels. So before we get started, let me turn you guys around and show you guys what we're working with. So we're gonna want some Loctite adhesive spray, our transfers, which I have printed these with my Epson Workforce 7710 using Printer Jack ink and the new Printer Jack paper. You'll notice it's blue on the back. This is also available on Amazon, and I've provided the links for those in the video description as well. And then I have 2 waffle towels. I believe that these ones are from Maximart. Yes, these 2 came from Maximart. I really like these. They are 300 GSM, so they're not super, super thick and plush, which of course, if you are using these in your kitchen, you want something that's going to be absorbent. And that's one of the reasons why I really do like these. So I have 2 of these here, and then you may want to use your laser level and your lint roller. And I'm going to show you all about that to kind of debunk some of the common issues. So let's go ahead and get you guys on the heat press, and we will go ahead and get started. So my press just needs a few minutes to cool down because it was actually set on 400, and you only need about 385 degrees for your waffle towels. So while this is cooling down, I'm gonna go ahead and do the pre-press really quick, and I'm gonna show you guys how to center and determine the right size for your design. So when you pre-press these, you wanna make sure to use a Teflon sheet because this will help just kind of protect the material and make sure that it doesn't scorch. Now, I see scorching issues all the time when people do waffle towels. I honestly have never had an issue with scorching, so I can't really give you any ideas on why it happens. I do know that sometimes it's best to take an infrared heat gun, which you can get at any hardware store, and check the temp of your press, because your press might be running hotter than you realize and you might actually be burning your materials. So we're just gonna pre-press this for about 15-20 seconds. Doesn't really need to be long. And this is also a good opportunity to make sure that our press is on the right pressure. So that was a little bit tight. As you saw, it kind of gave some resistance as I put it down. So it's more on firm pressure. And you really only need like a higher medium for the waffle towels. So I'm gonna loosen my press just a little bit. And the first thing I know people are gonna say is, there's a blue fuzz, is, oh my gosh, the waffles are flattened. The secret to fluffing up your waffles is the lint roller, which you should be lint rolling after you pre-press and before you do your design anyways, and when you're done. So now keep in mind that we lint roll for a couple of different reasons. One, you want to lint roll before you place your design, because it will help get any lint that's on your material off. And if you don't get that lint off, you're likely to get little blue specks all around, which of course you don't want. We lint roll after we press the waffle towel to help fluff back up those waffles. And as you can see, they fluff up no problem. And as long as you do it while it's hot, it's a pretty easy solution to that common problem. Now, in terms of where to place your design, always look for the tag. And I always recommend doing it so the tag is there. I recommend doing it on this half with the tag on the back. People put their designs all different sizes. For me, my little trick is to fold these so that the outer edges meet in the center. And once you do that, you have a pretty nice sized design space. And the reason why I do this is because this way, when you fold it in thirds like that and place it over your oven rack, you're gonna be able to see that design perfectly. So I did my designs just under 6 inches, and I believe if we measure this across, if you're ever wondering what size to make a design, all you need is a tape measure. So this says it's about 8 inches. Now I like to have a little bit of space on either side of my designs because it creates a nice aesthetic appeal. So I typically do my waffle towel designs between 6 and 6.5 inches. Once again, I'm using the printer jack paper and ink, which is available on Amazon. I'm gonna unfold this now that our press has gotten down to the temperature that we want. And I'm actually gonna be doing this upside down. You don't have to do it upside down. Well, actually I won't do it upside down. I don't want anyone to get confused. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my design. Now, my rule of thumb is to try and do it roughly 1.5 inches to 2 inches from the bottom. I feel like that's really good placement. And then of course, depending on how wide your design is, you wanna make sure it's even on either side. So we'll go ahead and just pull out our tape measure and make sure that that is correct. So our design comes to 5.5 inches there, and the edge of our snowman is 5 there, so we can move them over just a little bit. We got 5.25. A little bit more to go. Okay, just like that, we've got our design perfectly centered. Now, you can always use adhesive spray if you'd like. I actually prefer not to, so that's why I'm not showing it. But this is the adhesive spray that I do use. And when you use this, you want to kind of, here, I'll use it just for, to show you guys. I'm going to put this here so I have a guide. So you want to kind of spray it at an angle because you don't want any drop off of your, because you can see like mine's gunked up from being used. So if you spray it at an angle and kind of wave it into it, that'll keep you from getting any droplets that'll, you know, cause openings on your ink. So we're gonna line that right back up where it belongs. We're gonna get a piece of whatever kind of protective paper you use. I'm just using masking paper from the hardware store, but you can use butcher paper, parchment paper, all sorts. Everyone has their own preference. This is just what I like. So we're gonna do 385 with medium pressure for 60 seconds. You can see I've got my press all set up here. This is a 16 by 20 press from acesdeals.net. The link for this is also in the video description. I've had this press since March and I really like it. It's been so useful for doing different size substrates and making it a little bit easier than when I was using the 15 by 15. So let's talk pricing. Depending on where you buy your waffle towels, because as I said before, there are numerous different sellers, you're going to be looking at anywhere between $2 and like $4.50 in your overall cost, and that includes your ink and paper. For those of you who have questions about how to measure your ink and paper, I personally basically divide however much, however many pages are in a pack of paper by the price, and then multiply it, and then add like 30 cents to it for the cost of ink. So we're gonna go ahead and lift this up. We're gonna carefully peel off our graphic as well. Hot. And real quick, we're gonna fluff this up, because again, we want it to have that nice waffle texture. This is really hot. Always a good idea to use a heat glove. All right. And let me just fold this so you guys can get a better visual. All right. So just like that, we've got our little snowman. You can see the colors are really, really good with both Printer Jack ink and the new paper from them. And if we just look at that transfer sheet, there is hardly any ink left. So I'm very impressed with the high release nature of this paper. And you can see our waffles look nice and good, and we can actually even fluff them up a little bit more. And with a little better folding job, this one is already ready. So let's go ahead and get the second one, and I'll continue to recap the pricing for these. So once again, we're gonna go ahead and pre-press for about 15 seconds. Keep in mind that pre-pressing is really important anytime you're using fabrics. It doesn't matter what kind of fabric it is. Pre-pressing helps push out that moisture. Now, when there's moisture, which naturally comes from the atmosphere, so just because it doesn't feel wet doesn't mean it isn't wet, the moisture in the materials gets pushed out when you do your press with your design. And if you haven't done the pre-press, you're actually going to get ghosting. That's one of the biggest causes of ghosting, is because people don't pre-press. And if you're confused on the science, I guess would be the best way to say it, just think about how your clothes are tight when they come out of the dryer, and then as you wear them for a few hours, they start to loosen up because they are absorbing moisture from your body, they're absorbing moisture from your atmosphere, but they aren't actually getting bigger, so to speak. It's just that those fibers are loosening up because of the moisture that they are taking in. So once more, we're gonna go ahead and slide this back. And I'll show you guys again for those of you who prefer to use spray. Again, this one came from Walmart. It's Loctite Repositional Adhesive Spray. You're gonna spray it at an angle and kind of wave your paper into it so that you don't get little droplets or anything on here. We're gonna place our design about 1.5 to 2 inches above. And then we'll go ahead and double check with our ruler that this is centered, which it is not. Nice part about the Repositional spray is that it pops right off. So we'll actually do this to make our lives a little easier. And that needs to be right about there. Okay. It wasn't quite straight, so. This is one of the reasons why I don't really like using the Repositional spray. it ends up being a little bit of a headache to me. All right, once again, we'll go ahead and place a fresh piece of masking paper. And we're gonna do this for $385 for 60 seconds at medium pressure. So back to pricing. Like I said, depending on where you get your waffle towels from, the price can range from $2 with your all-in cost to around $4.50. Now, of course, if you're buying the higher quality towels like the ones from Terrytown, you are going to be paying a little bit more, but those ones are very plush like bath towels. So there's a big difference between those and like these, which I consider these to be more of a kitchen towel. My recommendation is to sell these in sets of 2 or 3 for between $8 and $10 a piece. This allows you to kind of maximize your profit because the cost to ship 1 is only $1 less than the cost to ship 3. So I actually sell mine 3 for $24 or 2 for $22 and then charge $3 shipping. And that seems to be a pretty fair price, and people really like buying things in sets. They can divide them if they want, but my designs already come in trios, so it makes it really great to have a little set that's a perfect gift for any holiday occasion, weddings, anniversaries, anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel off my transfer again. And I'm just gonna show you really quick. There's absolutely no ink blowout on this paper. I've been pretty impressed with Printer Jack ink. It seems to release a lot of ink and have no real blowout issues. So I'm very happy with it. And it's on Amazon, so affordable win there. Now we're just gonna hold this, plump up our waffles. It's definitely easier if you do it on a table, but you know, I want you guys to be able to see it. Okay. And there we have our second towel. And once again, look at how beautiful and vibrant these colors look. And you guys, I'm in my garage. My lighting is not that good, but you can see that these are pretty impressive. I'm really very impressed by both the ink and the paper. And again, the perks of getting it off Amazon cannot be understated because we all love convenience and Amazon Prime. So we'll set those two next to each other. And just like that, I have got a great little duo of towels for my own kitchen. And of course, you can sell these as a set if you wanted to. They're very easy to ship. You can ship these in a poly mailer, so they ship very affordably. You're gonna be looking at between $3 and $4 to ship these just about anywhere in the United States, up to $3. So just something to keep in mind as you're figuring out your pricing. Like I said, all the links for everything that we've used today are in our video description. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please be sure to do that. If you have questions, leave them in the comments and I will be sure to answer them. Other than that, thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.